November 17, 2009, the Montgomery County Council approved a bill that requires certain county restaurants to post nutritional information on menus and menu boards. The legislation, whose chief sponsor was Council Member George Leventhal and which was co-sponsored by Council Member Duchy Trachtenberg, had recently been amended to reflect provisions being discussed in a similar bill now being considered in Congress. Many Montgomery County citizens have diverse views on the issue at hand, many stating that they believe the calorie counts on menu boards is the correct way to go.
I think Montgomery County's rule forcing chain restaurants to put the calorie counts on their menus is fabulous.
I feel that Americans should know what they're having.
That's probably a good idea.
I think that's okay.
Oh, I think it's terrific. It's really helpful.
It's a great idea. I remember definitely wanting calorie counts, but it being like too much of a hassle to find out. But again, I think especially with Chipotle, you can far exceed the calorie count depending on what you get in the bowl.
Well, I think it's extremely important to educate people on what it is they're eating and how much they're eating. My gripe with it is I don't know how accurate they are, and I feel like they can be misleading, but I think it's a good step forward, maybe not a final step, but certainly a good first or intermediate step.
I think it's fantastic. I had gained weight, or I was much heavier when I was younger because I didn't know what I was eating, how many calories or what it would do to me. And in the last year, I've actually lost weight thanks to the fact of making decisions between food that is fewer calories than food that has more calories in it. So I think it's probably one of the best things in the world. It's a little, I suspect it's a little awkward for the merchants who have food to sell. And I also suspect it probably affects their sales. But what will eventually, I hope, happen is that merchants will offer more healthier food with fewer calories.
Montgomery Countyans express differing views on the limit of soft drink sales in New York City.
I think New York limiting the size of sodas is terrific because I think it helps people who don't make good decisions on their own to be almost forced to be a little bit healthier, particularly children and young people who are not aware of the habit that they're developing by drinking large sugary sodas, and they get used to that. And they think that large supersize has become normal in the U.S., and unfortunately, we Americans are also becoming supersized because of it. So I think that the mayor and the city council in New York did a terrific thing. I think they will grow a healthier generation of young people because they're not used to having those enormously huge sodas every day. And I applaud them. I wish that would happen in more communities. It's just like the movement that happened against cigarettes to get people healthier. This movement to make us eat healthier, even though we may not be making all the choices ourselves. I think in the end it's just going to be better for the country.
I don't drink them, so it doesn't bother me either way.
That's a good rule. We have that you have to limit the amount of soft drinks someone has, especially young people.
I guess it's difficult to say because if you want to drink more soda, I feel like you should be free to do so, but I can certainly understand where they're coming from.
I don't think the government has the control of what we eat, but I think the government should have control over the awareness.
That I feel less comfortable about because that's a restriction. I like the idea of giving people the information to make their own choices, but I kind of have a problem with the restriction where you can't buy something.
Like, it kind of falls in line with the helmet law. It's like if someone wants to decide to live a certain way, the government should allow them to live a way, but live that way. It would be like infringing on a freedom of sorts. So it's kind of in a gray area where like we know what's better for you as a government than you do. I purposely don't like that because like where do you draw the line? So I would never have expected there to be limits on soda consumption. because we don't limit any other sort of consumption, not even alcohol like that,
Yeah.
which is far worse.